Welcome to today's Explainer, everyone. We are diving into something absolutely wild today, a topic that is completely redefining how we interact with, process, and ultimately understand our own information. We're looking at a monumental shift in Google's AI ecosystem. For the longest time, we've relied on standard passive note-taking apps, but we are officially entering an era where your notebook isn't just a digital filing cabinet anymore, it's becoming an active data powerhouse.
Okay, let's dive into this. What if your virtual notebook didn't just sit there holding your PDFs and web links, but could actually write and execute its own code to analyze that data for you? Seriously, this isn't science fiction. This is the most groundbreaking capability of the tool we're breaking down today. It's a massive leap from simply summarizing information to actively computing and analyzing it right in front of your eyes.
So, here's our roadmap for the Explainer today. First, the dramatic evolution of virtual notebooks. 2, the new advanced data analysis feature. 3, the basic operations of Gemini Notebook. 4, the latest updates and customization features. And finally, 5, how learning is transformed by Gemini integration.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the dramatic evolution of virtual notebooks.
If you've been tracking Google's AI tools, you probably remember NotebookLM. It was a fantastic, free AI assistant that took your files and YouTube URLs and organized them into one virtual spot. Well, on July 17th, Google officially rebranded this tool to Gemini Notebook. Quick heads up, sometimes auto-translation software gets a little confused by the Japanese pronunciation of this, but make no mistake, it is officially Gemini Notebook. And this wasn't just a fresh coat of paint. It signaled a massive expansion from a standalone research app into a fully integrated piece of the Google ecosystem, bridging directly with the main Gemini app and Google Search.
And the adoption rate? It's staggering. We're talking over 30 million users and 600,000 organizations already using this thing. People are leveraging it in incredibly diverse ways. You've got corporate execs feeding it data to instantly spin up interactive onboarding guides, and on the flip side, you have students taking their dense class notes and turning them into easily digestible audio files and explainer videos. It's fundamentally changing how both work and learning actually get done.
Moving right along to Section 2, the new feature, Advanced Data Analysis.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer power this cloud computing feature brings to the table. Google has introduced a dedicated cloud computing environment within every single notebook. That means you have this highly secure, isolated space where the AI does the really heavy lifting. If you ask it a complex question based on your sources, the AI doesn't just, guess. It actually writes the necessary code, runs that program, and crunches complex math and deep data analysis to get you a precise answer. It's literally like having a personal data scientist living right inside your notebook, digging through your documents to find insights that would take us hours, if not days, to uncover manually.
So, who gets access to all this incredible computing power? At the initial launch on July 17th, this dropped immediately for personal users on Google's top-tier subscription, the Google AI Ultra plan. But hey, if you aren't on Ultra, don't worry. Over the next few weeks, this feature is systematically rolling out to all Google AI Pro Plan users who are accessing Gemini Notebook via their web browser. They're just staggering it to make sure the system can handle all that intense code execution smoothly as it scales up.
All right, on to Section 3, the basic operations of Gemini Notebook.
Getting started is a total breeze. It really just takes 3 simple steps. First, head to the official web page and hit Create New Notebook while logged in. Second, feed it your sources. Upload PDFs, text files, or just drop in links to websites or YouTube videos. You can even use the built-in web search to find sources on the fly. Third, the AI processes all of that and instantly builds your unified virtual notebook. One quick pro tip for you. While there are iOS and Android apps that let you log in and view things, the web browser version is the real powerhouse, where you get the complete suite of features for free. Once your notebook is generated, the interface is super logical, divided into 3 main categories. First is the source category, where you can always dump in more files or links as you research. Second is the chat category, which is fantastic. You literally just talk to the AI, asking it specific questions about the documents you uploaded. And finally, the studio category. This is the creative engine. Based purely on your sources, you can ask the studio to spit out podcast-style audio discussions, visual explainer videos, formal reports, detailed infographics, and even interactive quizzes.
Let's pivot to Section 4, the latest updates in customization features. And this brilliantly illustrates how Google is giving users unprecedented, granular control over their AI outputs. Recently, they dropped some amazing micro-updates for the Studio category. When making mind maps, you can now input highly specific custom instructions before the AI even starts generating. For infographics, there's a new verification feature that lets you check the exact source data the AI pulled from. The flashcard feature now lets you jump in and meticulously edit both the questions and the answers to fit your exact study needs. And they've introduced the ability to generate vertical explainer videos, which is absolutely perfect for social media.
I do want to quickly flag a practical limitation here, so you know exactly what to expect. As of July 2026, that highly requested vertical explainer video feature is currently only supported in English environments. So if you're working with materials in other languages, you might just have to wait a little bit longer for that specific video format to become fully localized.
Now let's talk about access levels. If you're a free user just logging in with a standard Google account, you get full basic access to everything we've discussed so far. However, if you're a heavy user, jumping onto one of Google's AI subscription plans unlocks some serious expansions. Paid users get increased maximum limits on the total number of notebooks they can create, plus much higher volume limits for generating those heavy audio and video files. If you plan on really pushing this thing to the limit, definitely check out the official help page for the exact technical specs of each tier.
Finally, Section 5, Learning Transformed by Gemini Integration.
Here's a really cool shortcut. You don't even have to start at the Gemini Notebook website. If you're using the web version of the main Gemini AI chat, you can launch a notebook directly from there. It's super simple. Just click plus Create New Notebook over in the left sidebar. Then, click plus Start Procedure, type in the topic you're researching, select Organize Ideas, and hit that right arrow. Bam! A notebook is generated, and you can immediately start adding sources and chatting with your documents without ever leaving your primary Gemini workflow.
Let's move to and see how this builds into an incredible late June update focused specifically on learning support. When creating a notebook from Gemini, instead of choosing Organize Ideas, you can select Study and Learning. You just input your learning goals, upload your textbooks or study materials, and the AI totally takes the wheel. It will automatically design a customized learning program and actively generate interactive quizzes based entirely on the specific material you gave it.
And this is where it gets truly amazing. As you take those generated quizzes, the system uses a progress dashboard. At a single glance, it visualizes exactly where your weak points are based on your answers. But it doesn't just stop at showing you what you got wrong. The AI actively analyzes those results and automatically creates targeted follow-up lessons designed specifically to strengthen your unique knowledge gaps. It's essentially a highly efficient personalized tutor built right into your screen. So the crucial point here is this seamless sync. Because everything is tied to your Google account, any notebook you generate for studying inside the main Gemini app automatically syncs right over to the dedicated Gemini Notebook platform. This means you can crush all your interactive quizzing and targeted learning in Gemini, and then seamlessly switch over to Gemini Notebook to turn those exact same study materials into a podcast to listen to on your commute. It is a brilliantly unified learning ecosystem.
And the team isn't slowing down anytime soon. They're already teasing major new feature drops on their official X account. We've seen how Gemini Notebook has evolved from a simple organizer into a tool that writes code, crunches complex data, and acts as a personalized tutor. It entirely changes the dynamic of how we learn and work. So the question I want to leave you with today is this. With all this incredible computational power and customization right at your fingertips, how will you use Gemini Notebook to transform your own scattered data into your absolute greatest asset? Thank you so much for watching this explainer, and I highly encourage you to go log in and try it out for yourself.